Hi Jen. Hi Sue. Hi Sally. Hi Mary. Hi Lynn. Hi Helen. Hi Julie. Okay, so I've put the instructions up in the group before. I hope you understand what I meant by them, because I've forgotten how hard it was to write down what you're doing afterwards. So this is the book, and as you can see, it's quite chunky. There's lots of flips and flaps and pulley out bits, but it is a chunky book. On the front, I don't know if you can see, the flowers are actually chipboard, so they do layer up really, really nicely. Okay. On the side, all I've done, some of the chipboards, those are two of the tags that I've just stuck back to back and just hole punched through some of the words and flowers. Okay, So you open it up and there's a pull out here. This is just a folder to put photos in eventually. These are some of the cutouts, and because you've got two packs, what I've done is cut one out, mounted it onto black card, and then stuck the other one the other opposite way. So you've got the front and the back of the cutouts. Okay. On this section, this actually lifts up, and underneath again cutouts and a photo mat, just a simple pocket at the bottom. This one, it opens out the opposite ways to each other, just something a little bit different, not really because I stuck the middle one on the wrong way round. And in between, again, there's just another photo mat. And on the reverse of that, to try and keep it fairly straightforward, both pages are exactly the same. So you fold up, you've got simple pockets at the bottom with photo mats in there. And again here, two large photo mats and some more of the cutter parts that I've just backed onto black card. Again, turn over, and these are two large pockets, and these are again some of the cutter parts from the pack. Now on the top of each pocket you've got photo mats, and once that goes in, on the front you've got the waterfalls, and that's the same on the opposite side. Again, we've got a pull out photo pocket there, photo mat, and then when you turn this over you've got these now. So that's the back of your page, and then you've got this pull out which you can look extends all the way across. This is one of the chipboard pieces with the decorative chips, and just a piece of one of the ephemera from one of the cutter part sheets. Again on this one, it opens out like that, and then it opens out like that. Tried to keep the theme of her walking away on there. Again, photo mat, and then at the back it's just a side pocket. That's part of the pattern paper, and that butterfly was cut out of one of the fussy cutting pieces of paper. This is a trifold photo mat, so it just slides in there like that, and again more of the roughly 6x4 pockets. And then on the inside of the back cover we've got just a simple pocket with one of the chipboard pieces, and then again some more photo mats, or you can write your journaling on, or whatever you want to do in there. That's saying, you know, if you put photographs in. Okay, so I'll just quickly, that was done in the Dewdrops paper. So the papers are, so the Dewdrops, I'll just quickly flick through. You've got lots of fussy cutting there, or if you've got a scan and cut, maybe you can cut it, you can scan it in and let the machine do the work for you. That's another one. All these are on the back of them, there's no writing on, it's just the imagery. So you've got all, and don't forget you're getting 2 pads if you buy the kit, because you do need 2 pads worth. Again, you've got your six cutter parts, and with having the 2 pads, you can put one on one side and that on the back, so you're actually getting to see both sides. Some lovely woody paper, lots of gorgeousness. They are more wintry papers rather than Christmas, even though there's a few snowflakes on. I just love that little bird. So that's the Dewdrops papers, and again on the inside cover, lots of flowers and pine cones and bits for you to cut out, or again, if you can get your scan and cut to do it, why not? You also get the decorative chips, as they're called, which is, it's kind of a bit like balsa wood. But yeah, so on this one I've used the camera, and I have got, you can't see that very well, so we'll come on to that after. Then there is a set of rub-ons, which are absolutely beautiful, and they rub on really easily. So you've got all these different floral bits and pine cones. They go on so very easy. It's really good. Unfortunately, you can see the ring light because they're on acetate. And then you get lots of the chippies, all sorts of different leaves and petals and words in there. So that's the Dewdrop one. The one I'm going to be using in class is going to be the Stamperia music pad. So, oops, that's the cut apart sheet on the back. All night, some florals and some just really nice imagery. Couple of pianos. That's a music page, which is really nice, and I quite like this with the cherubs and the hearts. And again on this one you've got a music page again, but it's more blue, and on that one you've got 12 tags that you can use as tags, you can use as photo mats, you do whatever you like with them. Then you've got this page, which I kind of see a scrapbook page with a photograph in the middle, but we'll see. And then that's more of a collage type page. And then on this one you've got more tags that will fold up into a little envelope, and again you've got the full designs on the front. We've got more music paper and music with the big heart and some gorgeous, I want to say plain papers, but they're not really plain. And again you've got the lady there. You've got 6 tags or cut aparts there, and again the plainer on one side than the other, but because you've got the bit, you're using 2 pads, then you'll be able to put them back to back with a bit of black card in the middle. If any of you are really good at music, you can write your own tunes on there, but I'll be honest, I'm not. And again it's another collage piece there. Again you've got your brown music and a collage piece, and then this lovely blue, and it is very collagey on here. And then on the reverse of the front page you've got things you can more cut apart, and you can make them into tags or tuck-ins. And again, the decorative chips on this, you've got, I think it's a cello, but my music knowledge isn't that great. But again, you've got your music here and in the circle, and lots of musical notes on there. The rub-ons are some musical notes, some flowers, and some cherubs. And the ephemera on this, oops, has got a kind of gold tinge to it. If I turn it over, you can see better. Different bits of ephemera, a piano in there, and these ones are actually adhesive, which for some reason the Dewdrops one isn't, but these are. Okay, so that's the music paper. Okay, so to start making the book, you need to cut your covers. Now these, I have used UK A4 sized card and chipboard. So on your covers you want to cut two. So UK A4 is 8 1/4 that way and 7 3/4 long. So if it's 8 1/4 across, you just need to turn it and measure 6.5 inches in. So 6.5 is there. And there. So you just need to cut down that line there. And I'm just going to do it on my big trimmer because it's quite hard. 1 second. So you'll need 2 of those, and those are your front and back covers. Then with the card that's on one of them that's left over, you need to make your spine, which again is 8 1/4, which is the width of the grey board, and 3.75 inches wide. That's because, like I say, it is quite chunky and I didn't want everything to end up with a crop gob. So that's that for you. Now for your hinges, you need to cut one from black cardstock, which again is A4. So I wanted it cut, it's actually 11.75, which just happens to be what I need for the hinges. And although the pages are going to be 8 inches, I'm just going to cut it a little bit shorter, just so that the pages go on a little bit easier. So because it's 11 3/4 long already, I don't need to do that. I just need to trim it down to 7.75 across. I don't know about anybody else, but I haven't found one trimmer scorer that does everything yet. So I have to keep swapping between different things. Right, just so it's a bit easier to show you, on the hinges, so we want to score at 2 inches, 2 3/4, two and 3/4, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, 6 1/4, 6 3/4, 7 1/4, 8, 8 1/2, 9, and 9 3/4. So if I quickly just run down here with the white pencil to make it a bit easier for you to see. Oops. So when you fold these, the ones either side of that are 1/2 inch are going to be your flaps for your pages to go on to. Okay. So we fold those up like that. Is anybody actually working along? So when those are together, get rid of this. So when your hinges are sealed, you will have this extra score line front and back, and that should just go either side. Oops. And it should be where the hinges, where the gap is between the hinge, the spine and the sides. Thanks, Ruth. Oh, hi Mark, lovely to see you. So with those, you just need to get your glue out, which I've buried, and you'll find that I use a few different glues, but actually it's not. I just have decant into smaller bottles because they're easier to squeeze. So if you put your glue on the hinges and then fold it over and give it a really good rub down. Okay, and then with the rest, and again fold it and give it a really good burnish. Get my small bone folder out to give that a really good push down, although you can see it is a bit grubby, but it still works. And again, put some glue on your hinges, fold it down and give it a good burnish. No double-sided tape, Mary. I normally put a little dab in the middle just to hold it till the glue sets, but I dropped it before and I can't find it. So yeah, I normally would do. But I think if you're using the glue and it's burnished properly, it should be okay. Helen, I think I'll pass on you and the glue helping. Yeah. So there you go. Oops. And squash them on both sides. There you go. You've got your spine. Okay. Now I'm just going to leave that to one side to dry off. Oops. And we'll come. But if you look with your spine, it does just fit nicely on there, and you'll have where your little score lines are will be where your gaps are for your covers. So we'll do that later. What I would suggest now is, if you have a preference on which part of the paper or which image on you want on the front of your book, I would go through that now and take it out. Otherwise, if you're anything like me, you'll end up using it on the back of a page somewhere and not be able to find it. So I wanted, I think it was, yeah. So I wanted that piece, I might have that bit, but I wanted that for the front page, for the front cover. So I'm going to take that out and put that on one side before I use it on something else, because that is, to be fair, that is something I do quite a lot. So I'll put your papers to the side again. Oh, Lorraine, what did you clean your boner with? And did it work? So, starting on the base pages, you need to cut 4 at 6.5 by 9 inches. So there's my 9. By 6.5. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. So you've got your 4 outer bit sections. Keep all these off cuts because they will come in for something else later. Okay, so then we need another 4. So these are to go just inside for your base pages. So you need to cut it at 7 7/8, or if you just go to 8 inches, but because it's slipping inside, if you just pull it back a little bit, doesn't have to be deadly accurate. And then so that's by 5 7/8, or just under 6 inches if you're not sure on your 8s and things. So that's 1. Oops. some of these that you've just cut off from there will actually go to make some of your pockets and some of your flaps, so useful to keep hold of. Okay, so I'll just get my trimmer out again. Aldi baby wipes. Forget about baby wipes. I've not, well, my two are grown up now, so I don't tend to use baby wipes that much. So on the larger of your cut pieces, you want to score on the long side, so that's the 9-inch side, at 1/2 inch, and at 8.5 inches. I'll just do that with the pencil. Hopefully you can see this on screen. Okay, so you do that on all 4. Okay. Oops. I think my scoring board needs cleaning as well. Okay. So then we get our pages and just fold, give it a gentle encouragement and fold on there. Just fold that, give it a good burnish down on both of them. Okay, then because we trimmed just a smidge off, that should, she says, just slot inside, and you just need to then glue top and bottom. Okay, just going to get another glue because that's run out. And I hope nobody of you is actually cutting along with me, because I've just spotted a typo. They're not quite wide enough. No, it's all right, it's me. I can't. When you cut your pages, oops, I've cut them too. It should only be 6 inches wide, not 6.5. So just chop them off. Best laid plans of everything being right. Didn't go to plan. So there's your outer, there's your inner that just slots in there, and then get your glue, and you, it's not very good to see, but you can see it's just a smidge shorter, and then put your glue on like that. and burnish that well down. And then spin your page round. Ooh. And you don't need masses of glue, but you do need to make sure that there is some in most parts of. There you go. So there's one of your pages. Obviously this end will go onto your hinges, and then this end will be where the photo mats go in. So that's one done. Just have to trim this down because I can't work out my own instructions. So burnish the edges down. And again, slide that inside. Make sure it's central, and oops, pop some glue on there. And give it a good burnish down. Not too much glue, otherwise it oozes out everywhere, which is never a good sign. Okay, so I'll just put some more glue on this bit. Oops. As you can tell, there's always glue on my mat somewhere. So if you give that a good burnish down. It probably is Linda. Okay, so again, down the side. Oops. Okay, and I've made it right. Just give that another score. Seem to have missed that somehow. It skips out of the grooves. Definitely no sticky flaps, you're right, Lorraine. The sticky flap's no good. Some glue down this side. And a good burnish. Oops. And then pop the glue on there. I'm sure you all know how to make these pages. You should be a whiz at them now, but just make sure you give it all a good burnish so they stick well. Okay, so if we work on page 1 front, so we need a pocket for the bottom, 7 by 2.5. Now 7 by 2 3/4. Now one of the offcuts of your card before is actually 3 3/4, so we just need to cut that down to 2 3/4. And forgot that trimmer doesn't go up. Cut that to 7 inches from the 8 1/4. So where are we there? Okay. So this is just going to be a simple pocket. So we need to score on the long side at 1/2 inch and at 6 1/2 inches, and on the short side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so then we need to kinky miter the corners. Oops. And then if you just fold those round gently with your fingers, pop it on your mat and then give it a good burnish. One thing that I have found is, depending on your scoring implement, sometimes it can be slightly off, but I think that just depends on the width. I use quite a narrow ball tool, and the thicker that is, the thicker the gusset will be. So it is something to be aware about, and I'm sure you'll be able to work it out. So that flap goes at the bottom there. So put glue on the back of the pocket. I don't know about you, I can't do it straight. I have to do it side on, and I don't know why. And just make sure that is lined up. And the good thing about using glue rather than tape for that is if you don't get it dead straight first time, you will have a little bit of wiggle room, so you can make sure it's where it needs to be. So that's your pocket at the bottom. So now we need the flap for the top. So you need another piece of card, and the card needs to be 6 inches wide by 8 high. So trim that down to 6 by 8, so you're just taking a smidge off the end. Okay, and to attach the flap at the top, this is me being lazy now, not opening it up completely. we just need to score on the long side at 1/2 inch. So, oops, there you go. So this, oops, score, and this will then be attached to the top of the page like that, and it's just a little bit shorter than the full page. So, oops, glue on the top. And there we go, just line them up, and then use your bone folder and give them a good rub down. Okay, so that's the front of your first page with your flap and your pocket at the bottom. So the flaps that go on the front of here, we need to cut, 3 at 6.5 by 2.5. So if you look at some of the offcuts that we had before, yeah, they're not quite wide enough, but these will be. So 6.5 by 2.5. Bits again, they may come in useful later, but I'm not sure, they're a bit small. Okay, so on all of these, you need to score on the long side at 1/2 inch. Okay, and there you go. Again, we just need to burnish these, so if you fold them gently and then just give them a good rub down. Okay, so there's your 3 pockets. Now, like I say, I've done mine opening alternate ways. If you want to do yours and open them all the same way, that's entirely up to you. So the top one, put your glue on, and that just goes at the top. Just line it up with the side and the top and just give it a good burnish down. Make sure it stays square. Now what I would do is put these on here. They should fit. If you find they're a little, sometimes because on the folds it sometimes folds on different parts of it, so if just double check, and if you think it's going to be a little bit tight, then just, no, that should be fine. If you find that they are going to be a little bit tight, just trim 1 millimetre off your other flaps. Theoretically it should all work, but like I say, if the okay, so just in case the score lines are a little bit wonky. Okay, so that one goes on there. So your flaps open like that. Okay. So that's the front of page 1 cut. Okay. You will have a photo mat in there, but I will leave it till the end because we might have offcuts that we can use for the photo mats and say cutting into a new piece of A4 card. So we'll do that. If we leave that there for this week, just because the back of page 1 and the front of page 2 will be exactly the same. If you want me to carry on, I can do that, and then you can do your own bit of page 2. It's entirely up to you, or we'll reconvene back here next week at the same time. Anybody got any suggestions? All right, Helen, I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay, we'll leave it there for tonight, and hopefully some of you will come back and join me again next Wednesday, and we can go a little bit further on with the book. If anybody, oh, keep going. Okay, we'll do a little bit more. If anybody wants to order a kit, I do have both the Dewdrops and the music papers in. If you drop me a line, a PM, and we can get that sorted for you. Right, I'll just do the flap for the back. The pockets I'll leave till next week because they are quite tricky. But again, on the back, you just need a flap which is 8 inches by 5.5. Which, oh look, we've got one that nearly fits. So if you trim that down, and then you score at 1/2 inch. And this doesn't go the full width of the back. So that just goes at the top, and if you just centre it, there is about 1/2 inch either side, just because I wanted to see some of the paper underneath it because it was gorgeous. So we'll pop that there, and that's that done. Quickly catch up on talking on. I can't talk and read at the same time, unfortunately. Okay, thank you all for watching. Alison, yes, the live should be still on the Facebook page. As far as I know, you should be able to watch. I think there's a bit of a delay and then it'll come back on, so that should be with you shortly. So yeah, well, it's been lovely talking to myself and hoping that you're there as well. And hopefully we can get together again this time next week and we'll do a little bit more. Next week's is quite good. I know on the instructions it does look complicated for the pockets, and my drawing probably isn't the best, but hopefully if we go through it together it should make a lot more sense to you. So bye for now, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.